What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition to my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're talking about the Batman Superman World's Finest 2025 Annual #1, We Are Yesterday, Part 3. So, yeah, I guess last week I thought I didn't have any DC books coming out, because when I checked my Kindle, it said that this thing was releasing, like, this week in May, but it should have been released, like, in April 30th. And as I was checking today, I'm like, wait a minute. Kindle lied to me, so maybe they corrected at the time, but then I kind of came around like the fact like, oh yeah, I probably should have gotten this video out last week, so sorry for all that. There's this one and there's a Detective Comics annual, which I still got to read, but you know what, I'm not in a rush. These are annuals. Like, the only one worth really mentioning, I guess, is probably this one. But yeah, so this one is continuing the adventures of World's Finest. This is part 3 of the We Are Yesterday event, so we are moving along at a quick pace with this little 6-part thing. I mean, we're already on like part 3, and was like 3 like issues in a month for it all, so it's all coming together like pretty decently, I suppose. But anyways, this is Grodd kind of recruiting the Legion of Doom, explaining to them like what's going on there. The script one is by Christopher Cantwell and plot by Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell, with artist by Dan McDaid. Then there's also a backup storyline, That's the Way the World, writer Morgan Hampton and artist Clayton Henry. That's a John Stewart focused storyline, so I actually kind of like that one probably a little bit more than the main thing here. But, you know, this is still a pretty fun little, like, part of this little event they got going on here, and it's going to continue in the next World's Finest issue, and then Justice Unlimited, then by, what is it, like, July? Or actually, no, by June, this event should be, like, kind of like reach its conclusion. So not too bad, all things considered. Like, because they had like the 3 issues in 1 month, it just kind of like picked up like rather quickly, I suppose. But yes, like I said, it's just Grodd kind of gathering the Legion of Doom. There's a point of conflict with them all. He's trying to drain like the tachyon energy, and he's got his own nefarious plans and all that, various timeline jumping. That's kind of like the gist of what you get within the storyline. We also get this other character known as Pythonus, who was like in the past but doesn't exist in the future because they kind of died or whatever. I'm not familiar with them really at all, but you know, with these World's Finest stuff and the thing that Mark Waid is doing, he's really pulling a lot of obscure characters. But he didn't write this one. Like, he wasn't the main writer on this storyline, so but he did work on the plot of this particular issue. So artwork is a little bit different too. I don't think it's quite as strong as the stuff we've seen like from Dan Mora, and I think was it Travis Moore did the previous thing, but I think it works in context for kind of that more retro kind of feel with the comic book art style. Dick Grayson's Robin definitely gets hit with one of these like tachyon rays that transports him like by the end of the issue into kind of the present day, and there's a little bit of a paradox with the young Dick and the current Nightwing version that face off against each other. But we do see how it kind of all came to be and kind of connected, and like what Grodd's been trying to do with the whole airwave thing and all that by the end of the issue. So that's kind of where we left off with this thing, and Cheetah was meant to take the fall in the past. So Grodd's got his plans, Lex questions some things, and you know, Grodd's going to probably ultimately betray everyone at some point, but hey, he's a supervillain. That's what you kind of expect. Then in the backup storyline, that's the John Stewart focused one, we kind of get like his origin like retold, but kind of mixing some things together. His connection with the sister, we see of course he's like from Detroit, which shout out to my boy John Stewart from Detroit. Yep, hells yeah. Sorry, like, you know, Detroit has a close connection to me. And yeah, so we get a storyline and how he kind of came to be, like kind of overcome some things. You see the close connection he had with his sister before she ultimately died, and how he needs to kind of grow and change and step up. There's a mayor running for election, but doesn't go so well. Then some bad guys show up, and Hal's there to kind of fight, but then John kind of works together, and ultimately he takes the vow of being a Green Lantern. I assume they're kind of refreshing this thing because they got the upcoming Lanterns TV show that's filming to kind of retell his origin, and it's probably going to be in the vein of something like this. So yeah, I'm not sure why it was in the backup for this thing, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to complain about a John Stewart storyline. I love John Stewart. He's like arguably my favorite Green Lantern. So yeah, like I said, this is a pretty like straightforward issue. Just kind of moving the plot forward a little bit on the events, explaining how Grodd kind of brought the team together and why he's going to confront the Justice League in the presence with all this other stuff and time travel, tachyons, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. You get the point. So, but anyways, those are my quick thoughts on the issue. What did you think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to your channel for more content, hit that bell for notifications, all their fun stuff. I got like one more DC book, and I think I missed a Godzilla comic book from last week, so I got to play some catch up there before the new comic books come in tomorrow. So there you go. That's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.